In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I am Professor Ameer. I am all right, and I hope that you will also be doing well. Today I am going to teach you lesson 3 of the tenses. At number 3, there is present continuous tense. The formula of this tense is subject plus is, am, are as helping verbs. V4, fourth form of the verb, plus object or complement. The sentence is, I am writing a story. Affirmative sentence. I am not writing a story. This is negative sentence. Am I writing a story? This is interrogative sentence. Am I not writing a story? This is interrogative and negative sentence. Now see here, am is used with I subject. For other subjects, suppose we have to use is for singular subject, any singular subject. If there's any singular subject in a sentence, we have to use is with that singular subject. For plural subject, we have to use are. For making a sentence negative, we have to use not after the helping verb. Suppose is, am, are. If there's a helping verb, suppose is, then we have to use not after that. He is not going anywhere. Now see here, for making a sentence interrogative, we have to use is or am or are before subject. For example, is he going somewhere? So then there should be question mark in the end of that sentence. That sentence will be interrogative. Practice page number 1. I am looking for a job. I am looking for a job. We are watching videos. You are thinking about your future. He is planning to do something better. She is helping the poor. It is solving our problems. They are arranging a party. John is celebrating his birthday. John and Jane are going out for shopping. John or Jane is buying a new car. So here John and Jane are two subjects, and we have used plural subject, plural helping verb. Okay, that is are. That is for plural subjects, and then plural subject. And for after that, John or Jane. This are separates John and Jane. Okay, any one of them. Then we have to use singulars. We have to consider them singular subject, and we have to use is as helping verb. Number 4, past continuous tense. In this tense, formula is subject plus was verb plus V4 plus object or complement. Affirmative sentence, I was writing a story. We have used was here. And negative sentence, I was not writing a story. Negative. Was I writing a story? This is interrogative. Was I not writing a story? This is interrogative, negative. Okay, so was is for singular subject. When there is a singular subject in a sentence, we have to use was as helping verb. If the subject of a sentence is plural, then we have to use were as helping verb. For making a sentence negative, we have to use not after the helping verb. For making a sentence interrogative, we have to use was or verb before subject according to the subject. But before subject we have to use any one of these helping verbs. Okay? So then at the end of this sentence there should be question mark. I was looking for a job. Okay? So this is a practice page. Practice page number 1. Practice page number 1. I was looking for a job. We were watching videos. You were thinking about your future. He was planning to do something better. She was helping the poor. It was solving our problems. They were arranging a party. John was celebrating his birthday. John and Jane were going out for shopping. John or Jane was buying a new car. At number 5, we have to learn present perfect tense. So in this tense, in the present time, the action reaches completion. So when I finish writing the story, I complete writing the story, I have to say, I have written a story. I have written a story. In this tense, we use third form of the verb. I have written a story. Because now you see that there are four forms of a verb: write, wrote and written. Write, then wrote, second form, and the third form is written. And the fourth form is writing. So we have to use this third form of the verb, written, in this perfect tense. Okay? Third form of the verb. Write, wrote, written. We have to use this third form of the verb in this tense also, in this present perfect tense and the past perfect tense also. With I subject we have to use have, and with singular subjects we have to use has, and with plural subject we have to use have. Okay, now note this, that I always carries the helping verb, that is have. So we have to use have with I always, not has. And we have also to use this have with the plural subject. Okay? But note here that I, though it is singular, yet it takes this verb. With this subject we use this helping verb, that is used with plural also. Have, I have done something, they have done something. Negative. For making a sentence negative, we have to use not after the helping verb. For making a sentence interrogative, we have to use have or has before the subject. Practice page number 1. I have completed my work. That means I have finished my work. My work is almost complete. Okay, when we have invited our friends to the party, so we have given the invitation, so we have completed that task. You have made many mistakes. You have made many mistakes. So this is also a perfect task. Okay, perfect sense. And he has gone somewhere. He has gone somewhere. She has arranged the things in her house. It has changed the language of my text. Suppose the computer has changed the language of my text, or my mobile phone has changed the text of my suppose letter, etc. My text change the text of my suppose application. Okay, then they have applied for the job. John has changed his habits. Jane has played her role. John and Jane have lived here. John or Jane has painted this house. Any one of them. Okay, then we can use since or for, from, to in this tense also. For example, you can say that he has lived here. He has lived here for 10 years. He has lived here for 10 years. For 10 years. 10 years. He has lived here for 10 years. Or since 10 years. Sorry, since last 10 years. But if you say he has lived here, you have to use since, then you have to use, otherwise for the last 10 years, or you have to use since he has lived here since 2020. He has lived here since 2020. And for you have to say he has lived here, or suppose he has lived here for 10 years. For 10 years. This is period of time. And this is the point of time. So with the point of time we have to use since as preposition. And for period of time we have to use for as preposition. So you must note this thing. I have to tell about these points and periods of time in detail in the next tenses. Okay, but here you must know about these prepositions and these that you can show time in the present also. Okay, now see here, from and to, you can use 2 points. He has lived here from they have lived here from 2010 to 2020. They have lived here from 2010 to 2020. I have used from and to here. Okay, this should be noted, from and to. I have to tell you more about these points and periods of time in the next videos. Okay, and in the previous videos I have also explained these things to some extent. Okay, but I have to explain them again. At number 6, there's past perfect tense. In the past perfect tense, the formula is subject plus had, helping verb plus V3, third form of the main verb plus object or complement. I had written a story. This is affirmative sentence. I had written a story. That means in the past, in the remote past, I had completed writing a story. I had finished writing a story. So I can say that I had written a story. Then negative, I had not written a story. Interrogative, had I written a story? Question mark. Then interrogative negative, had I not written a story? This is interrogative negative. There should be question mark in the sentences that are interrogative sentences. So it is very easy to use helping verbs with these with all the subjects, because there's only had as helping verb. So in this tense we use had as helping verb, so it has no any problem. Okay, so it is used with the singular subjects and the plural subjects as well. There's no other subject. When there's one there's no other helping verb. There's only one helping verb, that is had. Okay, so there's no problem. That becomes easier for you. Okay, for making negative we have to use not after the helping verb, and for making a sentence interrogative we have to use had before the subject. Now practice page 1. Practice page 1. Number 1. Practice page 1. I had completed my work. We had invited our friends to the party. You had made mistakes. He had gone somewhere. She had arranged the things in her house. It had changed the language of my text. That means the computer had changed the text of my application of my letter, etc. They had applied for the job. John had changed his habits. Jane had played her role. John and Jane had lived here. John or Jane had painted this house. Any one of them had painted this house. That means you are standing by some house and you are telling somebody that that painted house was painted by either John or Jane, and you say that it had been painted in the past. Okay, so John or Jane had painted this house many years ago. Okay, so you can use since or for in this tense also, in the same way as we made sentences in the present perfect tense. Now here you can say he had lived there. Now he had lived there for 10 years. Or since, okay, sorry, here should be used since 2010. He had lived there since 2010. Okay, and when you use for, then you have to say he had lived there for 10 years. He had lived there for 10 years. For 10 years. Then when you use from and to, you have to use them like this. He had lived there. He had lived there in that house from 2010 2010 to 2020. Okay, now at number 7 we have to learn present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense. In this tense, the helping verbs are subject plus have, has plus been plus V4 plus object or complement plus since or for plus time. Sentence: I have been writing a story since 8 a.m. This is the point of time. Since 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is the point of time, so I have used since. I have not been writing a story since 8 a.m. The first one was this is affirmative, the first one, and the second one is negative. Interrogative sentence: have I been writing a story since 8 a.m.? This is interrogative sentence. Now interrogative and negative. Have I not been writing a story since 8 a.m.? This is interrogative and negative sentence. So here, practice page number 1. I have been waiting for you since morning. We have been watching the video for an hour. You have been talking on the topic since 10 a.m. He has been working over a project since the completion of his degree. She has been working in this department for 5 years. Suppose if we had used last word here, then we had to change. Suppose if we had used last here for last 5 years, then we would have changed the preposition. We would have used since instead of for, because it would have been considered as point of time. But here 5 years is the period of time when there is no last word, but 5 years are period of time. So we have used the preposition for here. She has been working in this department for 5 years. It has been helping us since its invention. That means the computer has been helping us since its invention. Since its invention. Okay? Since, then some point of time. They have been looking for able workers since the incident of the fire in the factory. Now they have been looking for some able workers since the incident of the incident of fire in the factory, because there happened suppose there some part of factory caught fire, so that was the incident, and then after that incident they have been looking for some able working people, so that such incident may not take place. So since the incident of fire, since the incident here is the point of time. The incident of fire is the point of time. You must note this thing. This incident of fire is the point of time here. And in the first, suppose, in the first sentence, morning is the point, since morning. Here morning is the point of time. For point of time we have to use since, and for period of time we have to use for as prepositions. Okay, so then how a tense is perfect and continuous? You must understand this thing. I have already explained this thing in my previous lectures, but again I have to explain this thing, how tense is perfect and continuous as well. Now, so these both the tenses, the number 7 and number 8 were perfect and continuous, and how they were perfect and continuous. So John has been here with me since his arrival here. So a sentence can be perfect and continuous as well, because there are 2 points of time, the starting point and perfection point. In between these 2 points, the action remains continue. That's why it is also called continuous. Perfect, continuous. The action starts, suppose, from this point and becomes perfect, ends at this point. And in between these 2 points, the action remains continue and covers some period of time. That is, here I have covered 1 hour. Suppose I have been writing a story since 8 a.m. So I started writing story from this point, and then I ended writing story at this point. And the process of writing my story, the activity of writing my story completed here, became complete here. So I have to say, I have been writing a story since 8 a.m. When I mention this point of time, I have to use since as preposition. Since 8 a.m. is the point of time. Then when I mention this period of time, that is 1 hour from 8 to 9, I have been writing a story, then I have to use preposition for showing this period of time. As I have done in the second sentence, I have been writing a story for an hour. An hour is the period of time. Then when I mention both the points of time, the starting point and the perfection point, then I have to use quite different prepositions, like I have done here, from and to. From and to. I have been writing a story from 8 to 9 a.m. 8 is the point of time, 8 a.m. is the point of time, and 9 a.m. is also the point of time. So I have used these different prepositions, from and to. Okay, so now you have understood how a tense is perfect and continuous as well. Okay, so John has been here with me since his arrival here. Since his arrival here. His arrival is the point of time. His arrival. Then see, John or Jane, this R separates them, any one of them, has been living in their house for 2 days. John or Jane, any one of them has been living there for 2 days. So here 2 days is the period of time. 2 days, so we have used for as preposition.